Hi everyone, it's Robin Moser and Anna Terranova here for season 3 of the Tipsy Realtors. We're very excited to have a special guest today because we're talking about a drink called the Gaslight, and we're talking about Radon. So we're going to start, and we're going to let you tell your story.
So this is Dorothy, number one.
Yes,
and Dorothy is from
Great West Radon.
Great West Radon Company.
So that's exactly what I was going to say. Go ahead and tell your story. You're with Great West.
We're with Great West Radon. My husband Jordan and I started originally as a home inspection company, so we have a great relationship with a lot of realtors. And then we started specializing in radon when we saw a huge need being unmet in Calgary. We're living in some of the most radon exposed populations on the planet, so we thought that it would be great for us to help spread awareness. So thank you for doing stuff like this and helping people solve their high radon problem.
Absolutely. But we got to make our drink first before we get in the nitty gritty of radon, because you got to drink and talk about radon at the same time.
We're like multitasking. Anyway, we have some very exciting drink. We are looking forward on trying it. It looks like it's going to be a danger zone.
Yes.
And really good spooky Halloween cocktail too, Gaslight.
The Gaslight, which of course goes with radon. So you start with a rocks glass and a big huge ice ball. You can just use little ice cubes if you want, but the ice ball I like because they melt slower.
It's a sipping drink, I'll tell you right now.
That's right. Yes.
So we're going to use this honey liqueur, which is actually a Polish liqueur, and it just wants you to put in a dash. So just a itsy bitsy dash. And then it wants you to
be
put
careful
in,
with that. That one's a 40% proof.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said 2 ounces of honey liqueur. Sorry, I meant 2 dashes of honey liqueur. I just realized that that's what I put on there. And then you want to have 1 ounce of scotch. And I am using the beautiful...
I know, right? We have our fifth in vermouth.
Fifth in vermouth that I got from Anna for my birthday.
Yes,
Monday.
you're welcome.
Thank
you, Carrie, for hooking me up.
Exactly. And now a third of an ounce of sweet vermouth, which is a red vermouth. So if you're not sure what sweet vermouth is, it's the red vermouth you find in the stores. And then we're going to stir.
This is going to be a strong one, guys, for a Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, we're all straight on the Wednesday afternoon.
Yes.
So,
but we'll add some orange to it. So it's going to be
orange.
Okay, let's put that on the side. I think you need like a bigger glass.
I think my glass does need to be bigger, but if you had a bigger glass.
Oh my God! Well,
she can drink it through the orange. It'll help. It'll be good.
What if we just cut the? Oh, there you go. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going down.
No.
Okay, so we'll show you what their cocktails look like. In
lucky, this is what yours.
We got ours pre-made here.
Pre-made, so obviously pick your raw glass, a bigger one, so you're actually.
Or you get a smaller ice cube.
One or the other. Cheers.
Okay, let's try this. Cheers.
Cheers.
Like it looks beautiful, smells amazing.
I do think though it's a sipping, so this would be probably something that would be really,
this honey liqueur has like amazing fragrance actually. I love it.
But if you were to drink this like cigar by campfire at the end of an evening,
it is pretty good. You should love scotch, I feel like, but it's still the flavors go really well together. I'm like a timid drinker I mentioned in terms of strong stuff, but this is good.
Yeah,
the orange is really good.
It's well balanced. Yeah, I think the orange, the sweetness of honey, and the smokiness of scotch comes really well together. So, and our drinks have been already sitting for a couple of minutes on ice, and they are really nice and cold.
Yes.
And they actually, I think being cold makes it a little bit balanced out. Yeah.
Totally.
It's delicious. Yeah, I definitely think I have to remake it. I might steal some of your honey syrup to
if you got a cold, a cough, that could also maybe help too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's very strong. We tried it on its own, and boy, it was very warming.
It was very warming.
I'm still sweating.
All right. But now we're sitting here and radon. So what is radon?
It's a colorless, odorless, tasteless gas that can only be detected in homes if you specifically test for it. So a lot of people think that they might be able to smell it, or maybe they'll feel it, or, anything else might be able to pick up on it. It's untrue. Unfortunately, it has to be specifically tested for. And it's actually the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers in Canada. So 3,300 Canadians per year lose their lives to radon-related lung cancer.
Wow.
And all of those deaths are avoidable if people just tested their homes for high levels of radon.
So, Dorothy, a lot of our viewers maybe are familiar with, radon. Some probably don't. Why is it important to talk about here in Calgary?
Calgary is actually, just because of the geology of where we choose to build our homes, we're actually one of the most radon exposed populations on the entire planet, only second to Poland, actually.
Oh my
So there's
God.
another tie to this little Polish liqueur we use today. But
that's exactly why we picked this.
You guys are so on it. You knew that.
We planned it all along.
Yeah, so because we live in such a high radon concentrated area, it's more specifically important for Calgarians and Albertans in general to be able to test their homes.
Absolutely. And is it like we did pick this topic specifically to talk about it now?
Yeah, because the timing.
Yes, the timing is very important in radon.
That's right. So we're nearing the heating season, we call it. So that's when is best to test your home. You don't want to be testing in the summertime. Your doors and windows are open. Introducing any fresh air is going to drastically dilute the radon levels in your home. So you're not really getting an accurate average when you're measuring.
Yeah. So
it's always recommended to do a 90-day test from October to April to make sure that you're getting like a true reflection of what the winter time exposure would be within your home.
So in 2015, they made it so radon abatement had to be roughed in homes because obviously this is such a big deal. Why is radon suddenly becoming such a big deal? Because it hasn't been talked about for all of our careers. This is a new hot topic.
Yes, so it's definitely been around for a long time, but like you said, it's just one of those things like asbestos used to be used in homes until they realized how huge of an issue asbestos was. Now everybody knows what asbestos is. But when you actually look at a chart of carcinogens, asbestos is down here. And in terms of a cancer threat, radon is so much more. So it's just gaining traction in terms of awareness. Like you guys mentioned, the dog. There's a dog in case anybody.
The dog having.
Also in conjunction to the time that we're choosing to do this, it's because November is Radon Action Month, because it's also Lung Cancer Awareness Month. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff in the news, just urging Canadians to test their homes for radon gas.
Am I correct that it's because we've started building our houses so efficient, and that efficiency is, as much as it's wonderful, it's also causing things that usually were able to release on their own or dissipate on their own. Now we're actually trapping them inside our houses because our houses are so efficient. Am I correct?
Totally. So the newer homes, it's a common misconception like, oh, we have an old leaky house, we must have lots of radon getting in. And it's actually the opposite, like you said. So the more tight and efficient our homes are, which is amazing for trapping heat, which is the goal of an efficient home, to save on utilities. But the awful byproduct of it is that we're actually getting our radon levels to such extremely high levels. Even replacing your windows during a renovation can cause your radon levels to more than double.
So if you've had your radon tested then right before having your windows replaced, you may want to test it right after having something big like that, like your windows replaced.
100%.
Like now, there also is, if I'm correct, so the reason why radon is only an issue in the basement, it's mostly in the basement, is because it stays specifically in the basement for a certain reason. What is that?
So it's a heavier gas. It will be in the entire home, but like you said, the levels are going to be.
God, it's so not classy. Oh my God. Sorry.
All good. The reason that the levels will be highest in the basement is just because that's where it's all coming in, right? So radon gas is coming from gaps and voids and cracks in the basement, any
concrete is
from
porous, right? So it's lets in the...
Yeah, so there's voids underneath furnace because furnaces are generally installed before slabs are poured. So a lot of people are pretty shocked to see these massive voids underneath their furnaces. Any kind of pipe penetrations or floor drains, all of those things can be contributing factors to radon gas getting into your home. So the levels will always be highest, but there is radon gas all over the home. The levels just tend to technically decrease by about 50% per floor. But there are anomalies to that based on different heating systems. If you have like a different HVAC system that is set up in your home, then it can change that.
All right, let's just quickly talk about the tools you use to measure, how often you use them, can people measure themselves, and the technologies we have.
Awesome. Awesome question. That's the number one call I get. So testing, no matter which way you want to test, the most important thing is to do a long-term test. So ideally, it's that 90-day test that we talked about earlier. So you want a long average because radon fluctuates so drastically from day to day based on weather conditions and a lot of different factors. So making sure that if you do use a digital monitor or a long-term test, you do that minimum 90-day test. The kits are the least expensive. That's what's Health Canada recommended. They're about $45 on our website, and then you just have to pay for the return shipping to the lab, which is always varying because of all these fun gas surcharges and such. But it's an inexpensive way to test. You put the puck back, send it to the lab, they email you your results. You have to remember to send it back to the lab and register it online and all that fun stuff. So the alternative to that is the digital monitor. Those are good for up to 10 years. The ones that we sell on our website also have a 5-year manufacturer warranty. They can start giving you preliminary results within about 24 hours, which is always exciting for people to see their initial measurement. But
instant gratification, right?
Exactly. People want to know now. They're like, this is going to give me cancer. Tell me now. But we don't want to be measuring for 2 days and panicking and making decisions. You still want to be getting a good average of the radon levels in your home. You don't want to be moving that monitor around too much. You want to just be leaving it in one spot like you would the kit. Ideally, you want to be measuring in your basement where the levels will be highest. If you have an office, so many people are working from home now. So many people from out of town have been calling us. They're the most concerned about radon. They moved here. They heard about radon. Their office is now in the basement. Hey, if I'm working down here 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I want to make sure that the air I'm breathing is safe, right?
Well, and actually something to think about. So anyone who has children, let's be honest, 100%. Where do you make your kids play?
100%.
In the basement. So that if this isn't important for you, dear God, it's important for them.
Yes,
that's right.
Teenagers, where do teenagers want to move when they're old enough? They want to sleep for 18 hours a day, or it's definitely. And kids are actually at a much higher risk for DNA level damage from radon gas. So if you're, like you said, if you're gonna, not care so much for yourselves. If you have young kids in the house, they say even the thresholds for action, which we haven't talked about yet. Maybe I'll mention it while I got the chance.
Let's do it.
I was going to say, if you have radon now, what?
Yes. So the levels, you do your test, you get your results. The Health Canada maximum allowable indoor level is 200 becquerels. That's the unit of measurement for radon gas. But anything over 100 is when World Health suggests acting. And if you have young kids or people with pre-existing lung problems, if you have pets or just anybody that would be at a higher risk, you would want to be acting at that 100 becquerel mark, just because kids have so much longer to live. They have such rapidly developing cells that you want to be protecting those as much as you can. So acting at levels, anything over 100 is always a great idea when it comes to kids.
So how do you act? Like, what do you do?
Awesome. Radon mitigation is the most effective way of decreasing radon levels in the home by up to 95% most of the time. Sometimes people will get an HRV system, which will just help with the ventilation. That is helpful, but it's not going to decrease the levels like a mitigation system would. A very temporary measure of being able to decrease radon levels in the home, like I mentioned, is just opening doors and windows, allowing, that fresh
The
air to come
circulation,
in.
yeah.
But can we do that when it's, January and it's minus 40 outside? Absolutely not. So that's when the mitigation systems are ideal.
So the mitigation systems that I've seen are
Yes.
pipes that
Yep.
go from below the foundation up, and there's a little fan, and then it pushes the air out to the outside of the home. So how does that work? So the radon then flows up the pipe and pushes out and then dissipates because it hits outside?
Exactly. So essentially what we're doing is drawing negative pressure from beneath the slab, and essentially we're sucking the radon gas from beneath your...
So it's like a vacuum.
Yes. And you're, instead of letting it gather to high levels in your home, we're going to be doing sealing in your slab to make sure that it's, drawing a proper amount of pressure. And essentially the system is constantly going to be funneling the radon gas from inside your home to outside. And then when it gets to the outside, it dissipates to the normal outdoor levels of radon, which is around 15 becquerels within a few feet of that discharge pipe.
Now, this is, if I'm correct in what I've heard, 1 in 8 houses. Do you think it's higher than that, lower than that?
The more houses that get tested, the more that statistic is going to change.
Wow.
It's 1 in 5 nationally in Canada. 1 in 6 for rural homes. It's actually a bigger issue in certain types of homes.
Really?
Yeah. So rural homes, because they're unobstructed, they're on their own. You have this big open, nice piece of land, which is amazing, but also your home is that much more able to be impacted by big winds, which will drive more radon gas into your home. Larger homes, bungalows, because there's more slab on grade, more radon entry points. There's a lot of these different factors that are going to increase levels.
And radon's not like working out where you just go to the gym once you get fit and then you never have to go back, right?
In terms of
testing.
Testing,
You
that's
have to do
right.
that once every 2 years.
100%.
This is a constant thing. So I think the gym is going there once I'm fit. Now I never
That's
have to go
right.
back.
I wish, right?
Exactly.
But you want to be testing every 2 years. If you've mitigated your home, you can test 2 years after that, and then every 5 years, because your levels should be a lot lower than everybody else's should be. If you have a digital monitor, you're always kind of going to be testing. We always like to recommend people that have a digital monitor lend it out to their friends and family. Hey, my brother has a house, a few neighborhoods over. I'd like to make sure that he tests. Those things are easy to be reset. You can share them after you've done your proper test. They're a wonderful tool, and value-wise, it's great when lots of people get to test.
Fabulous. Well, thank you, Dorothy. This is amazing. I love the radon talk. I think it's huge. I think it's something that we should all do. I do know that you talked about a 96-hour test that we can do as a condition. It's not as extensive. It's always better to do the 90-day test, but there is that 96-hour test that can be done as part of a sale of a home, if that's something that is a concern to you.
And let's put it this way. A majority of homes probably in Calgary has some sort of levels of radon. Why is it important to put a part of a condition? Those mitigation systems could run up to 5,000?
In very...
it's depending on
for the
house.
most part, $2,000 to $2,500.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I heard 5,000. Okay, well,
see, that's good. It's good because there are, outliers on both ends of the spectrum, right? CNRPP, which is the Canadian National Radon Proficiency Program, that is the governing body for radon mitigation and testing professionals in Canada. You want to make sure that whoever's installing your system is a CNRPP certified professional. Those are the people that, like we mentioned, there's continuing education, there's recertification, there's proper insurance that all of us have to hold.
So make sure you use the right professional, just like me and Robin.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. Price time.
Oh, price time, yes. So, we are going to be drawing a name for a lucky winner.
And what's great is if this cocktail that we made,
Yeah.
this prize would be wonderful for
This
because
box
you have
smells
your.
great.
I know, right? You have the big fancy
Yes.
rocks glasses, which I can't get out right
Hold
now.
on, let's just
and
do this.
the whiskey rocks,
Yes.
and everything like that. So it's super fancy. I think you have to go up a little higher.
There you go.
So it is perfect if you want to make this cocktail in that glass.
Absolutely, yeah. Super cool drink. Winter's coming, so that will be perfect for all the sipping winter drinks.
Exactly.
And, birthday present if you don't drink.
Christmas
coming up. Absolutely. So, how do you win the gift?
Like and share.
Like and share. Invite your friends and family to watch Tipsy Realtor shows live. And your name will be entered every time we see you did exactly the same thing on all social media platforms.
Absolutely.
And we are on, obviously, Facebook Live, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok.
Wow.
TikTok, yeah.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Yeah.
Next week, death in the afternoon, because it is Halloween month. And
nice.
are you required to disclose death and why? So we get to talk about death.
Spooky, another spooky cocktail and a spooky topic for October month.
But most of all, and most importantly, if you're looking at buying or selling a home, or if you, your friends or family or coworkers looking at buying or selling a home, or
the neighbors you don't like.
neighbors you don't like, or someone comes trick-or-treating at your door and they mention they want to buy or sell a home, please have them call Robin Moser and Associates, myself, and Anna Terranova at the number on the screen, or take a look at our screen.
And screen right there.
She's in Halloween mode.
Yeah. And if you guys interested more to hear about Radon, you can always message us and we'll put you together with Dorothy. We will put Dorothy's contact information as well below this video, so you guys can call her herself if you're interested about Radon.
Awesome.
And please, anything that you can do this winter months while it's cold and yucky, please get your house tested for radon. It is very